What's going on, guys? One love out to everybody. We got UFC 290 Volkanovski versus Rodriguez predictions breakdown, guys. Before I get started, subscribe to this channel, hit the thumbs up button. Also check out my Patreon account for all my face-off predictions, which I'm going to upload after I finish doing these predictions here. Like I said, in the Patreon account, I put all the prop plays, and I will make changes. So whatever plays I give you here on the Patreon most likely will be different based off the weigh-ins and the face-offs. Okay, so sign up to that Patreon account. Also check out my PayPal account if you guys just want to donate. It could be whatever you want to donate, doesn't matter. Okay, and yeah, that's about it there, guys. We're gonna jump into this real quick. We got 14 fights, Las Vegas, Nevada pay-per-view card. It's a pretty good card, a lot of good matchups in this card. We got two championship fights here, 125 and 145. Volkanovski, Rodriguez, Brandon Moreno, Alexander Pantoja. This is going to be the third time these guys are going to be fighting. We also got Robert Whittaker and Dricus du Plessis. It's a good fight right there too. Dan Hooker and Jalin Turner, wicked fight too. We knock this out real quick. We got a couple changes here, which I will mention while I'm breaking down the fights. First fight here, we got Kamal Kirk versus Esteban Ribovics. Kirk here, BJJ black belt. He's well rounded. You know what I'm saying? He will mix it up. He will put that pressure on you. He's moving up to 155 though. That's the thing. And I don't believe he has ever fought at 155. Right? He's going to have 6 inches of reach though, which is massive. Let me make sure I'm right about that. He's going to have a 6 inch of reach. Yeah. A short reach in him. So that could play a huge factor here. But thing about Kirk, I notice he slows down. He put pressure on you, but he slows down. He get taken down, and he spends a lot of time off his back trying to get submissions. I mean, he could, you know, BJ black belt, and he would look for the submission. Last time he fought was against Damian Jackson there in 2022 there. Ribovics here, I actually like Ribovics, man. I think he's a pretty good prospect here, man. You know, his fight against Luke Rabnodov, you know what I'm saying, he didn't look too bad in that fight, man. And I felt that if it was a 5-round fight, I felt that he would have won it. And I felt he kind of won that fight in that kind of sense. You know what I'm saying? That third round, he was putting a beating on Ribovics, man. Sorry. I was putting a beating on Rabnodov. Ribovics. Ribovics here is 100% finishing rate, man. So this guy will either submit you or knock you out. So make sure I'm right about that. So either which way the fight goes, you know, he will take it to you. And I like how this guy looks, his movement, his timing, his striking. Very aggressive guy, push forward. His defense is pretty good too. He's not bad. Like I said, he's a pretty good prospect, and his scrambling is not bad either, man. He will reverse on you and get top position. So yeah, 6 knockout, 5 by submission, never been finished. I'm not super high on Ribovics, but he has potential, and I feel like he has a little more potential than Kirk does. So I'm gonna go with Ribovics here for the win, and I'm gonna say Ribovics by KO TKO here, guys, in the second round. And I'm not too confident, but I give Ribovics 60% and I give Kirk 40. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be too high on, you know, on these guys here, even though, you know, he has potential, but I want to be super high on these guys. And it seems that the odds in this card, I took a little slight glance at the odds, and looks like the odds in this card is pretty high. And a lot of the fights, man. So when I take a look at the odds and make sure about that, we're going to talk about certain things that you shouldn't do on this card, man. Especially playing the guys with the high-ass odds. This doesn't make any sense. But, I mean, you do whatever you want to do, you know, and I'm just giving you my information. These are just my opinions. You know what I'm saying? Anything is possible. Nothing guaranteed, so you do what you feel like is right for you. Okay? So I like in Ribovics, KO TKO in the second round. 60% Ribovics, 40 Kirk. Next fight, we got Shannon Ross versus Jesús Aguilar. Shannon Ross here, this guy here, he has potential, but he seems to get hurt on the foot. And this last fight here was just a total quick finish. You know, he went in there, and this guy named by Rodriguez went in there and just took him out real quick, man, like fast. You know what I'm saying? He'd been knocked out 3 times. He's hittable. He will throw heavy. He's going to have the 4-inch of reach in this fight, 2-inch of height. But he gets reckless in the fight and leave himself open, right? His takedown defense is not bad, but he can get taken down. But it's just his defense, man. He gets hurt on the foot. And he gets knocked down, get dazed, and he can get knocked out. He's been knocked out 3 times. I believe his back-to-back losses was by, punches and kick by punches, you know what I'm saying? Back-to-back. This fight here is a tough one here, guys. I could see Ross winning this fight against Jesús. His opponent here, Jesús, he wants more of the ground game, and he will look for the submission. His favorite submission is the guillotine. So once he locked that on, man, he locked it up good, right? This is the guy that he won this Contender Series. You know what I'm saying? He looked good in the Contender Series there. Shannon Ross lost the Contender Series, but he lost to Taira, which Taira, in my opinion, is a very, very good fighter, man. That guy is a good prospect. I don't really see no holes in him. It's hard to find like weakness in him, man. You know, even though there's weakness in everybody, you know, especially when you're doing a sport and you're competing, you know, there's always something there you can, you know, there's always holes, you know what I mean, that you can expose. You just gotta find it, right? But yeah, man, Jesús here, he swings wild, very aggressive, straightforward pressure. But he likes to takedown, he likes to wrestle. So he would double leg, single leg you. He has decent conditioning, but he can get tired. But I see him in 5-round fights, and he pulled off a submission in the 5th round, actually, against a guy who was on Discord too. I believe one of Brandon Morono's teammates, he submitted by a guillotine choke, who is fighting Taira. So basically, which I mentioned that when I get to the fight. I don't want to confuse you guys. So this guy here will look for the submission. In my opinion, I feel Ross is a better striker, but man, I just feel like, you know, Jesús is gonna throw overhands, touch him, and take him down. Throw overhands, touch him, and take him down. And Ross will look for submissions too. But this fight here, guys, I said this is a 50-50, man. And the reason why I said that because I feel like Ross could win this fight because of the 4-inch of reach, 2-inch of height. But again, Jesús is very crafty. He's gonna just Jesús is a dog. He's gonna throw and come forward and then hang on you. So, and then look for takedown. And if you give him your neck, he will submit you by guillotine. Okay, but I'm gonna go with Jesús here, guys. And I'm gonna say Jesús by submission in the 1st round. Could be a guillotine, but I'm not confident. And like I said, don't sleep on Ross, even though he's been knocked out twice, knocked out 3 times, but he has potential though. You know what I'm saying? And if he's on, because there's some fights I see Shannon Ross in, and he looks really, really good. But it also depends on the opponent he's fighting though. Everything always depends on your matchup. You know what I mean? If you match up against guys that are, I mean, example, you know, his matchups are not too bad. And that's, I mean, goes going by the, you know, by the wins of the guys, you know. And because you have these wins, that doesn't mean that you could have fought 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 10 guys, you know. So, but his you know, the guys that he fought are not too bad, I guess, just going by the wins. But still, man, you know, it's one of those fights where it just all depends on the matchup, man, you know. So, yeah, so I'm going to go with Jesús by submission, guillotine. Not confident, be careful with it. 1st round submission. Next fighter, we got Cameron Seaman versus Terrence Mitchell. This is Terrence Mitchell. Just a short notice for Terrence Mitchell. Yep, short notice for Terrence Mitchell here. Cameron here, he's a good prospect, man. He's a young kid, but he's a very good prospect, man. And age is a number, guys, you know. He's well-rounded, skilled in every department. His ground game is pretty good. His striking is good, but he starts kind of slow, and you can touch him up a little bit, but he will make adjustments. Let me see. His only downfall, though, is that he throws a lot of illegal shots, man. So, his 2 fights back-to-back, you know, he fouled the guy. You know, he could kick you in the groin, could poke you in the eye, you know, and he actually lost a point. So this is a fight where, man, you know, I think Cameron's a good fighter, but like I said, You know, he a lot of illegal shots, man. And fights like this, illegal shots could be a non-contest, or even he end up losing because of just losing points. His opponent here, though, is a short notice. His name is Terrence Mitchell here. He wasn't the Ultimate Fighter here, and for Kaya France here. Mitchell is 100% rate. Thing about Mitchell, you know, he has a striking, but I don't know. It's like he's well rounded, but nothing really shines too much about him. But he will land like a head kick on you. He will look to get the submission off your back, maybe a triangle choke. You should have the reach in here. Just doesn't show here. But you know, I mean, most likely he will look for the submission here. He has a most likely a submission chance here. I mean, if it's anything, maybe off his back. But like I said, he's gonna have the reach though. You know, he just looks more like a lengthy guy. But like I said, his reach is not here. But I just feel like Cameron here is just a better fighter in my opinion. You know, and even though we see, you know, in Mitchell here is, you know, the age or whatever, and you know, if you look at his record though, you know what I'm saying, it's you know, it's maybe not the best, you know, 0-2. There's like NA I don't know what, you know. And a lot of fights in Alaska, Combat Entertainment, lost an Ultimate Fighter show. I just feel Cameron is just the all-around better fighter, man. And Cameron trains with Duplessis around the South America there. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cameron here, guys. But like I said, reach can play a factor here, but I just feel Cameron's just a better fighter in my opinion. So I'm gonna go with Cameron here, guys, and I'm gonna say Cameron by I'm gonna say KO TQ in that second round. But like I said, be careful, man, because he fouls illegal shots, back-to-back illegal shots in both fights, cost him a point. But KO TQ second round by Cameron, and I'm gonna say Cameron 80% and Mitchell 20. A short notice for Mitchell also, so that's the next reason too. Next fight here, we got Vitor Petrino versus Marcin Petroni. Oh, the both names are Petroni. Oh, Protno. My bad, guys. Marcin Protno. Victor here. Victor is going to have the 3-inch of reach, which is massive. Heavy-handed. Very elusive, man. This guy is very athletic, very elusive. Explosive, physically strong. We look for the takedowns, and when I saw this guy in the Contender Series, you know, I thought that, oh man, this guy's just a heavy hand guy, you know, and he's gonna gas out. Which he looks like he does get tired, but it looks like when he gets tired, he starts to wrestle a lot, and he's very, very good with his wrestling, man. His takedowns and he's good with the scrambles. It's like it's difficult to hold him down. He's always reversing you, and when you think that he's gonna get tired, he pops up and reverse you. So he's very physically strong from off his back, and the scrambles are good, and he's heavy-handed. One downfall though, he can get a hit, he can get a hurt on the foot, but he recovers well and he just keep on pushing, man. But he's heavy-handed though, and his ground game is pretty elusive. Very, very physically strong dude. His opponent here, Marcin. Marcin is gonna have a karate base here. You know, his main attribute here is his movement. You know, very hard to hit him in that kind of way. But he's been knocked out 4 times though, so probably, you know, it's not too hard to hit him. But you know what I mean. But he can get tricky with the movement. You know, kind of mess up your kind of game there. I feel like his fight IQ though is not the best, man, in my opinion. Yeah, there's a fight where it's a 50-50 in that kind of sense, because you know, Marcin is a little more experienced guy here, but just the matchup, man, I just feel like Vitor is just, if Vitor connects to him, he's gonna get hurt, you know, and Marcin doesn't really handle a shot too well. And also Vitor, this guy's athletic, man. This guy blitz across, physical, explosive, very explosive. He's gonna double and take him down, man. So again, be careful with this one, man. It's like the guys from Contender Series, they still gotta be careful, man. You know, a lot of guys from Contender Series usually come in here, and sometimes they may pop up a win, you know, for the first time, you know, and a lot of times you see them lose, man, especially when they're undefeated. You know what I'm saying? And you have Marcin here like, oh, you know, 16-6. Oh, he's not going to win. He gets knocked out 4 times. Oh, he's like, you know, not his best fight IQ. And then Marcin goes in there and move around, and touch him with leg kicks, touch him with leg kicks, touch him with leg kicks. You know, kind of similar, you know, to what he did to William Knight. But William Knight didn't even fight in that fight. So Marcin having that fight against William Knight is just one of those fights where he wasn't really pushed. Vitor is going to come at him. Like, he's going to come at him, man. But don't sleep on Marcin though, because he has hands too. He has power in his hands, man. So, but I'm going to go with Vitor though. I'm going to say Vitor KO TKO first round. It's a 50-50, guys. Be careful with this one. So, you know, like I said, if Marcin wins, don't be surprised, man. Be careful. Alright. Next fight here, guys. We have Edgar Chairez versus Tatsuro Taira. This is the fight I was talking about here, guys. Edgar Chairez, Brandon Moreno's teammate there, he lost against Jesús in a 5-round fight, you know. I believe in that fight, Jesús had him maybe first, second, and third, fourth was Chairez, and into the 5th, he just had to decide the 5th round, and freaking Jesús submitted him with a guillotine, man. So, and we look at Taira here. Taira submitted Jesús by an armbar. But like I said, the MMA Mafton will jack you up. And I don't think you should do it like that, because it just all depends on the person and the matchup. Every person's skill set is kind of different. And when you match them up, sometimes different things happen. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, Jesús may beat Edgar. And Taira beat Jesús, but then Edgar beats Taira. Happens, man. I've seen that a lot of times. What I see with Edgar here, Edgar is Brandon Moreno's teammate, like I mentioned, and training partner. Speed, he's gonna have the speed advantage. He's skilled, he's well rounded. Let me see here. Can get taken down though, but usually get taken down in the later rounds, 2nd and 3rd round. He will look for submissions. His ground game is not bad, and he has speed advantage. And his boxing and his Muay Thai is not bad, man. But he usually fades after the first though. Thing about that, when he fought Jesús, it was like 2020, so it's like kind of like 3 years ago, you know. So he has improved from what I see from off the contender. Was it the contender series? Yes, but he lost to Carpenter. That's right, he lost the contender series to Carpenter. It's a tricky one here, man. I'm high on Taira. I think Taira is a very freaking good prospect, man. This kid is pretty good, man. Out of every prospect I mentioned about, this kid right here, man, I'm very, very impressed with him, man. He's like, especially his ground game. This guy is amazing, man. He's well rounded. I don't really see no holes. I'm really very little weakness. You know, maybe in the first round you can touch him up a little bit, but he, you know, he's not a consistent team where you hit him, and he knocks out or fall down. He will start, you know, looking to take you down and mix it up. Let me see. So yeah, so this fight here, man, you still gotta be careful with it, like I mentioned with the MMA Mafton. The way I see Edgar beating Taira, if it happens, because anything is possible, it's probably by a knockout in the first round, man, to be honest with you. If the fight passed the first round, it's not going to be good for Edgar, because Taira is going to start like mixing it up a lot more, and then Edgar's going to get tired. But it would have to be Edgar knocking him out in the first round. So, from my opinion, I could be wrong, but I'm going to go with Taira here, guys. I'm going to say Taira by submission in the second round. And it's going to be a 50-50, because what I see from Edgar, he doesn't look bad, man. And he's a tough dude, going to push forward. The striking is not bad. He's going to have the speed advantage. If he catches Taira, because there's sometimes in the first round, you know, I see Taira can get clipped. You know what I mean? So if Edgar clip him, man, and he's going to come in there with like dog. He's going to come in there to take off Taira head. He's going to go in the first round and finish him. So remember I told you, and it's possible, man. So this is a 50-50, and it's an even fight. Like I said, Taira is a good prospect, but with every prospect, every man, any person it can get defeated, man. It just depends on the matchup. No matter how good you are, man. It's just there's always somebody who can crack that puzzle. You know what I'm saying? That can find that hole that a lot of people can't find, or find a little weakness there, right? But I'm gonna go with Taira. Second round submission, 50-50, guys. Next fight here, guys. We have this is a rematch because it was a non-contest, right? No, it was a draw. Jimmy Crute versus Alonzo Menifield. This is the next one here, man. I believe the first fight I had Alonzo Menifield winning, and I'm gonna break this down for you guys and explain what happened from what I saw in the first round. Jimmy Crute is well rounded, but he can't handle a hit, man. And once you start hitting him, he kind of loses composure, and it just dazes, is wobbling everywhere, and he would just start to push wrestling, and then he started to gas out, and he kind of recover and try to come back. He was fighting in his hometown, which I believe in England, right? And I believe it was in England, right? Yeah. Was it? Was it in England? Okay, it was in Australia, but and yeah, kind of lost my frame of thought here, guys. Yeah, so it's a guy that you can hurt him, man, and a guy like Menifield, you can tell that his takedown defense has gotten better, and you can tell his cardio has gotten better. So if Menifield comes in there and then which look at his cardio is getting better and better every fight. If he comes in there and his cardio is good all 3 rounds, freaking Crute isn't a problem, because Crute won't be able to take him down or hold him down. Like I said, if he comes in there good, there's sometimes he will gas out, but in this fight against Crute, he went all 3 rounds kind of okay, except for that last round, but I feel like he's well-rounded, he's gotten better, he's a heavy hitter on pack power. The point deduction is what messed him up. I believe he grabbed the fence and they took the point from him. If they never took a point from him, obviously he would have won, because he freaking beat up Crute. He hurt Crute in that fight a lot of times. So he would have won most likely by a split decision. So that's the only reason why he lost the fight, in my opinion. I believe Menifield won first and second, and I believe Crute probably got the third. But this fight is I had Menifield the first fight. I'm going to go Menifield again. I'm going to say KO in the first round by Menifield. But Crute could come in and just wrestle. And he did it in the first fight, but never really worked too well until the third round. He absorbed a lot of freaking shots in that fight. Took a lot of damage, man. So he has to get to the power of Menifield, and he didn't do that well the first fight. So what is he going to do differently? He's going to wrestle, and then get hit. He can get hit by big shots, and he's going to end up gassing out. I'm going to go with Menifield. I said Menifield KO first round, guys. 50-50 though. Be careful, because if Menifield gasses out and Crute just did what he did in the third round, if he can do it in first and second, then he can pull off like a split decision or something like that. So be careful with this one too. Next fight here, guys, we got Yazmin Jauregui versus Denis Gomes. It's the next good prospect here, man. They got a lot of good prospects in this card. Yazmin is a pretty good fighter, man. Heavy hitter. She got the skills. She's well rounded. Pushes a high pace. Physically strong. She got the dog in her, man. This girl can fight. Like, she can fight, man. Got power, and she hits like how Amanda Nunes hit. You know what I'm saying? Or like a Tachenko. You know what I'm saying? She packed up power, man. Like, power behind every shots, and her takedown is good, her ground defense is good, her submission game is good. She's pretty well rounded, man. And the good thing about her, she got a dog, so she got a toughness in her. She's gonna keep pushing forward. She can get clipped in the first round though, I noticed that, but she recovers pretty well. Her opponent here, Gomes, this girl got a dog in her too, man. Can get taken down, but she would push her pace, but her pace is like will kind of slow down. And she kind of throw like one shot. And with Yazmin, she throws combinations. And I mean, Gomes can hit too. If Gomes connect, she can hurt Yazmin in this fight. That's why I'm going 50-50 here. But I just feel like the better fighter here, you know, in my opinion, the better prospect, in my opinion, is going to be Yazmin, which is a good prospect for me. You know, I'm kind of high on her. So I'm going to go with Yazmin here for the win, but be careful still because, like I said, Gomes is also a dog. And, you know, when it's woman fights, like I say, sometimes, you know, even with some of the guy fights too, you know, you go for Yazmin and go come in here and hit her in the first round and finish her. So be careful. I got Yazmin KO, TKO, second round, guys. I'm not confident, 50-50. All right. Next fight here, guys, we have Jack Maddalena versus Jose Harrell or Josiah. All right. Jack here is the next good prospect here. A lot of good prospects, man. Nice boxing, pack power, skill, 6-inch reach in this fight with a 4-inch of height. He was supposed to be fighting Sean Brady, which was going to be a freaking good fight there, man. That's you know, Sean Brady looked like he had some kind of staph or something like that, or something happened. Yeah, he got infection. You know, hopefully he's okay, and that's a fight that I really want. I was looking forward to see that fight there. But Josiah though is coming in very short notice. Yeah, Josiah here is, from what I see, he has potential. You know, his punches though are not as quick. You know what I'm saying? But he has a quick head kick, right? And it usually comes off, I believe, the left leg, right? But his punches are kind of slow, and he's predictable in his punches, right? Head is kind of up in the air, kind of straightforward with his head. The head don't move off center line, and that's bad with Jack. That's bad against Jack, man, because Jack, his hands is, that guy is pinpoint accurate with the boxing, man. And if your head don't move off center line, and you know, you kind of slow out the punches. I mean, the only thing I can see here that he hits Jack in the head with a head kick off the left leg. You know what I mean? But I mean, yeah, I mean, anything is possible, man. Like I said, these guys short notice here, just coming off of this, you know, maybe a week, coming from LFA. You know, you just never know, man. So, but he has 100% finish rate, and this guy reminds me of a Devin Clark. He kind of looks like Devin Clark, and his shape and his legs, that muscular legs, and just the height and the way he fights. It's like he fights in spurts, and he just has that heavy kick. But when it comes to the hands, he kind of like will shell up and kind of shy away. You know what I'm saying? But then he will just burst with something, you know, just kind of fight in spurts. But then he's open to get hit though, kind of like Devin Clark, and that's the issue with this fight. You know, like I said, he has a heavy left head kick. But you have to catch Jack, and you know, hey, it's possible. I see Jack get hurt in fights, so if you can catch Jack in the head with that left kick. But as far as like the whole game, like the whole package, I have to go with Jack on this one, man. I just feel like his head is too straight up, man. His head and the hands doesn't match. The hands are not there, man. So I'm gonna go with Jack here. I'm gonna say Jack by KO TQ in the first round, and I'm gonna say Jack 80% and Harrow 20. Next fight here, guys. We have Robbie Lawyer versus Niko Price. This is Robbie Lawyer retirement fight, I believe. I could be wrong. Very experienced guy, man. This guy's a dog, man. He comes in there and is like soulless, from what I hear a lot of times. People say, hey, he's just soulless. He comes in there like a zombie. I've been seeing Robbie Lawyer for a long time, man. But way like, for me, it was like 19 years old fighting, man. From all the way back here. Back in the 2001, man. I mean, I remember when he fought Pete Spratt back then, and Pete Spratt took that loss from him. I believe it was something. I believe in that fight, I believe he got leg kick. It was an injury somewhere in his leg or something, you know. And yeah, because he was on like on a little run, you know, beat Aaron Riley, and then Pete Spratt like kind of killed his winning streak there. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, so, you know, Robbie Lawyer is a very dangerous guy and a super experienced guy, man, but he's been through a lot of freaking battle, man. Took a lot of freaking damage, man. And, you know, it's like this is I believe his last fight here, but a guy like Price, Price is also a zombie to a dog, hittable. You know, he will keep coming forward regardless. He has a cardio. And like I said, his outputs is just going to keep coming forward like a crazy dude, right? Like a wild dude. And Lawyer's a wild dude too, but the problem with this fight is I don't think Lawyer can take too much hit like that, you know, and I'm not going to see Price catching him maybe in the second round, and there's probably knocking him out, it's a possibility. Again, I wouldn't sleep on Robbie Lawyer because he's a veteran, and veterans will always find little ways to win. And I feel Lawyer and skill set, you know, is better than Price, and experience, but in his durability. I feel like Price could be a little more durable here. So I'm going to go with Price here, guys. KO TQ in the second round. 50-50 though. I'm not confident because, like I said, Robbie Lawyer could win, man. You never know, because the way how Lawyer looked against Brian Barberino he was winning the fight. But what happened to him? He gassed out, his durability, he started taking hits that he shouldn't have took. He started getting dazed and he got finished. So, but Price second round KO TQ. It could be different in this fight, but we see what happens. Next fight here, guys, we got Bo Nickal versus Val Woodburn. This is Val Woodburn, short notice, very short notice. It's supposed to be Tresh and Gore. Bo Nickal here is gonna have the 5-inch of reach. No, sorry, 5-inch of height, which is massive. 100% finish rate. He will look for the submission. Come on, the American top team there. He looks like a very decent wrestler, you know, and his submission game is pretty good. But against Pickett though, man, I've been seeing this fight here, man. Some things I didn't agree with this one. He need Pickett in the groin, and nobody said nothing in that fight. All of the announcers, I believe it was Joe Rogan and Daniel Cormier, they didn't even say nothing. Nobody said anything, and he literally got hit. I believe he got even kneed twice. And the referee didn't say nothing. Nobody said nothing, and that's the way how Bo got the takedown by naming his groin. I'm not saying he did it on purpose, but at the same time, you know, the should at least said, "Yo, he got kneed in his groin. Just give him a time," you know, and just you know, he didn't get a time to recover from that, so he got taken down and then he got submitted. But like I said, this guy's skill, you know, even I don't know, you know, looking at Jimmy Pickett, he's a skilled guy, but he keeps dropping the ball, man. So, you know, even if he didn't get kneed in the groin, probably Bo would have still submitted him and beat him in the fight. You know what I mean? So, Bo is a good prospect, man. You know, he's look like he's strong in the clinch. His takedowns are very good. His submission game is good, and he will blitz at you and then throw the overhand and take you down. His opponent here, though, Woodburn, he seemed to love the clinch a lot, which is not good because that's going to favor Bo Nickal. He's going to be the shorter fighter, though, man. He's going to be the shorter fighter, dude. I'm not sure of the reach, but Bo Nickal going to have the reach advantage, and he's going to be the shorter fighter, right? Not saying that's a bad thing, because he's shorter, and you know that don't mean he can't win, right? You know, it's all about the technique and the skill set. Let me see here. He may have a puncher's chance, though. He look like he packed power in his hand, but I can see him just getting taken down, though, man. And like I said, there's always upsets, man. And these guys short notice, man. You got to be careful, man. You know what I mean? You know, you better look at this guy and say, Val Woodburn is a Yardie youth, a Jamaican. Sure. You never know, man. Man, come over there with an overhand. Blam! Lights out. you never know, man. Hey, I'm telling you, man, we see this happen. Mostly all the cars that went by, we see a lot of crazy upsets, man, with guys with a high odds. And I can tell you, Bo Nickal is going to be a high-ass odd. And we see massive upsets. You know, guys are like, you know, -1,000, -600, and all these things, and they're losing, you know what I'm saying, by guys who don't really have you know, they're not known, and I know, and these guys are short notice. So don't sleep on it, because these guys here, Val has nothing to lose, man. He ain't got nothing to lose. You know what I mean? Coming here on 2 overhand, that's it. You know, yeah, I think he has a puncher's chance, but I'm gonna go Bo Nickal 90%. I'm gonna go Woodburn like a 10. You know what I mean? But I still be careful, and like I said, I'm gonna talk about the odds in a little bit. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is one of the fights where you may not want to, you know, put Nickal in the place too much, because it doesn't make any sense. Even if you're parlaying, it just doesn't make any sense. You better have gone with Val to be honest with you. All right. Next fight here, guys. We got Dan Hooker versus Jalin Turner. Dan Hooker here, very experienced guy too, man. Fights long, striking is pretty good. Got a ground game. He mixed up very well, you know. His fight against Claudio Pulis here, you know, did a pretty good job there, you know. Almost got his knee taken off. Almost got caught in a knee bar, but you know, he pulled through that and got the body finish there, body kick, right? His opponent there, Jalin Turner, man. I'm actually very impressed with Jalin Turner, man. I like to see guys that improve, you know, with every fight. And Jalin Turner is one of those guys that keep improving consistently, man. This guy, and when I see you improving like that, that means that you're learning and you're getting better, right? If I see you come in the fight and you keep doing the same thing over and over again, and just, you know, you may win the fight, but it just doesn't look that great. It's a difference. But Jalin Turner is improving. And against Gamrot, Jalin Turner won that fight against Gamrot. He won that fight against Gamrot. They robbed him in that fight. He beat up Gamrot in that fight. All Gamrot did was took him down and hold him. And even though it was holding him, Turner was getting up. I would say the third round, maybe Gamrot won. Maybe. But first and second, I give it Turner. You know, Turner 100% finishing rate here. Skilled, and like I said, he's improving, has improved, and keep improving. And like I said, he won that fight, and this guy keeps improving, man. And the fight against Gamrot, a lot of people wrote him off in that fight. I had Turner winning that fight, and like I said, you know, people thought it was gonna be an easy fight, but you know, a tall guy like Turner, you know, and to see that, you know, that Gamrot had a hard time holding him down, and he was just sprawling on some of the takedowns and striking and staying on the foot and avoiding takedowns, and then he got takedowns sometime, but he shows that he's improving on the ground, you know, and stopping the takedowns and defending against a guy like Gamrot, who's like known to grapple, he's known to wrestle, right? He's crafty, and he's gonna put a high pace on you with the wrestling, and he shows that he's learning and you know, improving the game. I'm liking Turner here, guys. I mean, Dan Hooker's a good fighter, but you know, Dan Hooker, man, he can get hurt in the first round easily, from what I've seen. Like, you know, he comes in there and you can clip him. You know what I mean? And then he get hurt. So I'm go with Turner here, KOTK in the first round. I'm going to give Turner 70% and give Dan Hooker 30%. I'm not taking anything away from Dan Hooker, but I just feel that Jalin Turner is just a better fighter here, man. Jalin Turner is the guy that keeps improving, right? Next fighter, guys, we got Robert Whittaker versus Dricus du Plessis. Robert Whittaker here, man. I mean, Robert Whittaker is an amazing fighter, man. Good karate base, I believe, Goju karate. Experienced, skilled guy. Wrestling is good. Very hard guy to take down. His takedown defense is very, very high. Very high. Probably it could be up in the 90% or more than that. He's high takedown defense, man. Yeah, man, this guy is pretty good, man. This guy here striking, his pack power, his movement, his footwork is what messes your head up, on his boxing. And the way how he set up his techniques from the outside, his in and out motion, his kicks, everything he mixes up very well, man. He uses the punches, set up the kicks, and it can be vice versa. Kicks up, set up the punches, then, but it's just, you can see experience and everything like that is very good, and his defense is good too. Du Plessis, though, coming to South America here. Did I say South America? South Africa, my bad. South America. Yeah, it could be from South America too. Yeah. But South Africa here, you know. South America. Du Plessis here, he's a good fighter too, and I was high on Du Plessis, and I'm still high on Du Plessis, but you know, I mean, what I see from him against Derek Brunson and even Darren Till, you know, he I don't know, man. It's like his striking is, it's not bad, but there's like holes, and when there's holes to get exposed, like I said, sometimes, you know, it'd be hard to find holes in some guys. You know, it's hard to expose them. It's difficult. With Du Plessis, you know, Robert Whittaker is gonna find those, man. I feel Robert Whittaker gonna find that pretty easy, man. He should find that pretty easy, man. It's like point fighting for him, man. You're gonna find that easy, man. That chin is there to get hit. That chin is right up there to get hit, man. And the thing about it, when Plessis get hit, his hands go everywhere and he gets hurt. You know what I mean? And he looks like he's gassing out, but he's not. And then he recover. You know, he's another 3-inch reach, and he's a tough dude, though. He's durable and he's tough. But again, to Robert Whittaker, you know, who's bouncing the feet and like the hands are down and the punches come up from the hip, and then the kicks follow behind the hands, and then he's accurate, pinpoint accurate, man. He gonna have to like tuck, man. He gotta tuck that chin, because then Robert Whittaker is gonna reach that. You know, he's gonna touch the chin, man, and that's what I see. I got Robert Whittaker, man, KO TQ in the first round, and I must say Whittaker, yeah, KO TQ the first round. I must say Robert Whittaker 70% and Plessis is 30. Again, Plessis got the power though. Robert Whittaker got power, but Plessis got like some kind of raw power on him that he would just walk straight in front of you and just throw the hand and knock you down with his chin high, kind of like a Derek Bronson kind of vibe. But man, a guy like Robert Whittaker is like, when you have a martial artist, a karate practitioner, especially a Kyokushin or Goju guys, and they're trained to see the opening. They read you and look for the openings, like target practice, like a sniper, like Anderson Silva, or even like a Machado. They look for openings, and if you give them the opening just so easily, then they're gonna take it, because it's like easy work. His chin is gonna be there to get hit, man. So I got Robert Whittaker KO TQ first round. Again, anything is possible, but I mean, we see what happened. Co-main fight here, good fight here. Brandon Moreno versus Alexandro Pantoja. This is the third time this guy's fighting, and Pantoja beat him. Pantoja beat him 2 times, but Brandon Moreno here has improved though. And like I told you, with every guys, you know, the guys I look at, when these guys are improving like that, especially at like a higher level than they were, it's impressive, man. And Brandon Moreno is a guy that, you know, he left the UFC and came back and just looked completely different. Even his body looked different. He looks more in shape. You know, look like he put a little more weight on, but he looks in shape though, right? He looks more defined and look like his body is not. I think when he fought Pantoja those 2 times, he looked frail. He looks frail and didn't look too strong mentally and physically, right? But he improved, man. I think Brandon Moreno is one of the guys that really improved out of everybody I've seen. You know, that left UFC and come back. This guy here has improved a lot. I mean, the guy is. I mean, he has a champion. You know what I'm saying? So that tells it. I mean, that tells you something there. And he's keep on getting better, right? Pantoja though. What I noticed about Pantoja, he's skilled, coming on the American top team, he's well-rounded, he got the BJJ black belt, he got the submissions, and he will start the fight off running and jumping your back, which that's probably what he's going to do in this fight. He's going to try to get the back of Moreno and try to maybe a rear naked choke, which is possible, right? But Pantoja stayed the same though, right? The Pantoja that fought Brandon Moreno is the same Pantoja now. That's the only thing I see. You know what I mean? He hasn't changed much. He's still dangerous. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's still got the power and he's still got the submissions, but he hasn't changed much. Brandon Moreno changed miles by miles, man. Distance. You know, body change, his mental change, his physique, his strength. He's not so frail. You know what I mean? So, and he added new techniques to his game. He changed. He's not the same fighter. So I'm liking Brandon Moreno here, but I'm going to say 50-50. Pantoja beat him twice, but again, it's not the same Moreno. So I'm going to go Moreno, decision, 50-50 still, and that's it. I'm not confident though, but like I said, the Moreno that Pantoja fight is not going to be the same. That's just what it is, even by looking at the matchups. There's guys that Moreno fight that he beat, that Pantoja struggle against, but that's the MMA match against. Still gotta be careful with that. Sometimes just all depends on that person. That's that particular person, man. That skill set of that person just gives you a problem. It doesn't matter. You just have a lot of problem with that one person. It's just stylistically, you know. Let's say style makes fights. So that's what it is, man. But I'm gonna say, you know, they say style makes fights, but I say it's a person. Because the person is who makes the style. Because without the person, movement, and these things, then the style won't exist. So I don't really agree with that 100%. Because I'm always going to say that it's the person with the skill set. Because you got to put the work in to make it happen. Like me, I have my kicks and punches, I have my own technique. But I have a variety of different techniques. But if I don't train those techniques to make it effective, then it's not going to be effective. You know what I mean? And then you can have a next guy who is effective with the same techniques I have, and then he can dust me. That's just what it is, right? Main fight on the card here, guys. We got Alexander Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez, and next good fight. This card's a pretty good card, man. A lot of good prospects. Actually, the entire card is good. This is a stack. This is a good stack pay-per-view card, man. Very good. Even have a big veteran like Robbie Lawyer on it, man. This is a Robert Whittaker, man. Robert Whittaker is a very freaking good fighter, man. So it's a very good card here, guys. Alexander Volkanovski, man. This guy is a dog, man. I mean, I felt that robbed him against Islam Makhachev, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? Islam Makhachev at 155, you know, that's where he stays, right? That's his thing, you know what I'm saying? To take that from him is like not that good. Because Islam is like, you know, it's like a Habib, you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a Habib, you know what I mean? It's like a stepping stone, you know? It's like the mentor, Habib mentor him, you know, to go there and have Volkanovski beat him like that. It wouldn't look good. So, but I feel Volkanovski broke him in that fight, and it was a it was a 5th round. It was a 5-round fight, right? Yeah, Volkanovski beat him in that fight, man. That's all I gotta say. With Volkanovski, he has a very high pace. His cardio is on point. This is a tough guy to finish, and yeah. I mean, Yair Rodriguez is a good fighter, you know, Taekwondo base, explosive kick. The only thing I could see Alexander have a problem with is the body kicks from Rodriguez, you know, and the head kicks from Rodriguez and the spinning kicks from Rodriguez. But maybe even the punches, because with Yair Rodriguez, he will use the kicks and then come in with the punch. So he will fake you, and just the footwork. You know, I could see the footwork giving him issues, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think he ever faced nobody with that kind of movement like what Yair is going to bring. Yair is going to bring that Taekwondo like movement, in and outs and the switching and just elusive. Maybe Max Holloway, but still no. You know, and the kicks could be a problem, but Volkanovski is just, you know, he's durable and he's smart. That's the thing. He's smart. With Yair Rodriguez, he will start good in the first round, but then he will start to, like, you know, kind of, you know, he will start to do too much, and then he will start to get gas, and he's kind of look like he gets, you know, kind of flustered in the fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, he loses composure after if he can't finish you, then he starts to lose his composure, and then he starts just doing crazy things. I mean, I won't say it's crazy, but he just start doing unexpected techniques that sometimes it doesn't land, like that spinning elbow he landed on the Korean Zombie, which was, you know, and against Volkanovski it could land, but then he started to lose his vision, he started to lose the focus, man. And with Alexander Volkanovski, he keeps the focus, he keeps it tight, you know what I mean? So yeah, you're gonna have the 5-inch of height, which is massive, and the speed, the kicks, you're gonna have the speed advantage. But I must say Volkanovski though, but this fight here, guys, I'm not too confident, because like I said, I don't think Volkanovski has faced a guy like Yair, and Yair is gonna have to finish him. This fight can't go 5 rounds, because then Volkanovski is gonna freaking wear on him. He's gonna break him down. He's gonna take him down, beat him up. He's gonna beat him up. You know what I'm saying? So Yair is gonna finish him either first or second round. If he doesn't do that, first or second, then Yair is gonna tire it. And then that's when Volkanovski is gonna just take him down, beat him up, and get maybe a decision. So I'm going to go Volkanovski by decision. I'm not confident, guys. 50-50. Quick look at these crazy odds here. Freaking crazy odds. These are going to be crazy odds, man. You can see it yet. Crazy odds. Ah, boy. Alexander Menifield, Jimmy Crow 140. I disagree with that, man. Because the way how Menifield was hitting him in that first round, knocking him down, it can't be what. Fight is an even fight, dude. It's like a fight you gotta be careful with anyway. I mean, Jimmy Crow could submit him, but you know what I mean? It's just the way how Alexander Menifield was, you know, handling him in the fight. You can't be confident with Jimmy Crow like that. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's 140. Dennis Gomes and Yazmin 400. Man, Gomes is a power hitter, and she has a chance. She have a puncher's chance, but Yazmin, I feel, is a more skilled fighter here. 400. The odds, freaking odds are ridiculous, man, on this card. Oh my goodness, the odds are ridiculous. The odds are freaking ridiculous, guys. I would say be careful. Like I said, with a woman fight, you gotta be careful, man. So be careful with this one too, guys. Jack Madadeno, damn, freaking 1,000, and Harold. I mean, the way how, you know, Harold fight, like I said, you know, kind of remind me of a Devin Clark. You know, his chin is high up, head don't move up center line, his hands are not the quickest, but his feet are quick with the kicks. And against Jack, who's known to click the chin, his boxing is on point. I mean, him being 1,000 seems about right, but again, anything can happen in a fight, man. So, like I said, with these guys who are like 1,000 and these things, I wouldn't mess with it, man. I just play around and go under. If you're gonna play or whatever you're doing with my odds, my picks, I just play around with the unders, man. Just make little parlays here and there, but I wouldn't put these guys like, because it doesn't make any sense, right? Niko Price 250, damn, against Lawyer, that's even too high, because Niko Price will drop the freaking ball. Not the best fight IQ, man. So you shouldn't be like 250. This again is just crazy. And Lawyer is a very experienced Lawyer coming here with his, you know, and kind of avoid the shots, which he can. Because Price just throws wild. He can knock out Price in the first round or even second. I disagree with the odds in here, man. Oh, Nickal, damn, negative 3,000, and like I said, guys, man, my opinion, you know, I would go under, man. Does Val have a chance? In my opinion, from my breakdowns, and like I said, I don't think so. But anything is possible, though, you know what I mean? And when you have odds like these, you know, a guy, you know, he has nothing to lose, a short notice, and he made it to UFC. Go in there and start throwing some overhands. You never know. You know what I mean? Maybe even come with a flying knee when Boney could go for a takedown. Lights out. We've seen this, man. And playing this odds here doesn't make any sense. Dan Hooker, Turner 275. I think Turner odds are not really too high. I believe he's a better fighter here, to be honest with you. So this fight here I kind of agree with. Robert Whittaker 350. Yeah, I think Robert Whittaker is a way better fighter. But again, with Plessy, he's like a zombie, and he would just walk into the shots. But with Whittaker can freaking hit, and he walk into a Whittaker shot, he's gonna get knocked out. So I don't disagree with the odds, but still be careful. Moreno and Pantoja, Moreno 225. Yeah, I really don't disagree. Pantoja beat him twice, but this is a different Moreno, though. But again, he beat him twice, though. That's the thing. So maybe Pantoja changed, and I'm just saying that he didn't change, but maybe he did. I just feel like he's just doing the same thing in every fight. Still be careful. Yeah, Rodriguez and Volkanovski. Volkanovski is 3-something. I'd be careful with this one, man. I mean, Volkanovski is not too high, but Rodriguez, you know, the speed, kicks body to the kick to the body, and just the elusiveness and this footwork and the speed, the timing, could give Alexander Volkanovski problems. But then, yeah, you're gonna need to do that quick, because the longer the fight goes, it's gonna favor Alexander Volkanovski. So that's about it right there, guys. This card here, man, is a very high card, and the odds are too high. And I would say the guys who are way high like that, just go under, man. You can do singles, or you know, or you can do parlay, but do not play these odds. It's ridiculous. All right, that's about it there, guys. Don't forget to sign up to my Patreon account. There are gonna be face-up predictions gonna be on there. I'm definitely may make some changes. Also check out my PayPal. You can donate and hit the thumbs up button, man. I need some more thumbs up. Like the videos, guys. You know, it's a lot of work I'm putting in here, and please donate, and please sign up to my Patreon account. You know what I'm saying? I put out all the props and all the face off. I'm gonna watch your face off now and load that up, and I appreciate all the love that you guys are giving, and one love, guys.